This is Merida, Mexico. It is in the interior of the Yucatan Peninsula, a much different place than what visitors experience in the much more popular Cancun. I am spending a full month in this city. First impressions reveal a tremendous amount of beauty here. That includes natural elements, architecture, and more. There is history too, as this was the land of the Maya. Let's begin our discovery. Merida is the most significant city in southeastern Mexico, the economic center of the Yucatan Peninsula. There are over 1 million people in the metro area. This place reflects a mix of colonial, Spanish, and Mayan influences in architecture, culture, and food. It is considered to be one of the safest cities, not only in Mexico, but in North America. A few minutes from now, after what I have to show, you might be ready to book your own stay. This is Plaza Grande. It's the main square in the center of the city. Measuring roughly 200 meters by 200 meters, it is not only the most prominent public space in Merida, but also one of the oldest. This is one of the spots where you will find the city letters. Of course, everyone has to capture those in an image. This is the heart of the city, and it's been that way for centuries. This was first laid out as a public space in 1542. It is established right on top of an ancient Mayan city. This square features lots of trees and plenty of benches. It's always possible to find some place to sit in the shade. There is normal seating, and then there are these unusual chairs. They consist of 2 seats combined into one unit. These are known as you and me chairs or confidant chairs. These are called you and me chairs, and they first appeared right here in Plaza Grande in 1915. They are popular, and they have now spread to other parks within the city. The story is that these were created by a protective father who didn't like the idea of his daughter sitting so close to a suitor. I have never seen anything like them, except here in the Yucatan. It's possible to spend an entire day just exploring the buildings that surround Plaza Grande. Chief among those is the Merida Cathedral. This is also known as San Ildefonso. Some say it is the oldest cathedral in the continental Americas. One in Santo Domingo is clearly older. Construction began in 1561 and was finished in 1598. Stones from a nearby Mayan temple were appropriated for use in creating this edifice. The exterior is done in the Renaissance style. The inside is fairly simple, although the high ceiling provides a sense of magnificence. Look closely and you'll notice old tombstones embedded in the floor. I was fortunate one day that I was present as processions advanced around the square, starting and ending at the cathedral. I am unsure what the occasion was, but there were different groups taking turns marching through the streets. Fireworks set off to accompany the processions sounded like cannon fire. There is a blackened figure of Christ in the cathedral, said to be the only surviving item from a fire in another church. It appeared that some of the groups carried it along with them, although it could have been a replica. Look at some of the other structures that surround Plaza Grande. This is the Palacio Municipal. It's a historic structure that now serves as the City Hall. The red paint on the 2-story colonial-style building makes it distinct. These arches give it a fantastic look, and the space underneath is attractive. A second-floor balcony overlooks the square. There is even more to see here, but video was not allowed in most of those areas. Another site where my camera was prohibited is this place. It's the Casa Montejo Museum. This is the former home of Don Francisco Montejo, who is credited with founding Merida. You'll hear that name again later. Fortunately, a couple of places gave me full access. This is the Palacio de Gobierno, or Government Palace. It's nice outside, but the interior is striking. Covered walkways with arches provide some of the best visuals you can see anywhere. The courtyard is spectacular. To add to all of that, there is plenty of artwork throughout the structure as well. The murals are huge and they are colorful, if not a bit subdued. They all tell a story though. It's the history of Merida and the Yucatan, and it's all explained on panels that are associated with each piece. There are 27 murals in all by one artist. This was built in 1892, and in addition to the museum, houses state executive offices. Just steps away on the western side of the square is this site. It is the Centro Cultural Olimpo. The design is to make the building fit in with its surroundings, but it was inaugurated only in 1999. A portion of the center is dedicated to visual arts. Sometimes exhibits feature world-famous artists. When I was there, however, the paintings inside and the sculptures outside were close to where they were created. There is certainly a lot to love about this place. My favorite thing, though, is that both artists who are featured here have ties to Merida. They were either born here or live here now. That makes this really special. There was no fee to see this or the artwork at the government palace. On the east side of the square is a relatively new attraction showing recently unearthed artifacts. It is the Tren Maya Museum, housed in yet another colonial palace. This shows items that were found during construction of the new train routes covering the Yucatan Peninsula. Some replicas of things are found on display here too. Construction of the Tren Maya began in 2020 and was completed not long ago. It's nice that these items can be seen, but critics say it shows the extent of damage or destruction of Mayan sites caused by building the rails. I did ride the train, and that will be seen in my video about the town of Valladolid. As a brief aside, several kilometers north of the city center is the wonderful Mayan World Museum. Some consider this one of the most important cultural centers in Latin America. I'll go more in depth about what can be found here in my coming video about Mayan sites of the Yucatan. In between the structure which holds the Tren Maya Museum and the cathedral is this avenue. It is called Paseo de la Revolucion. This is a 100-meter long covered walkway. It was pretty empty when I passed through, but it sometimes hosts art exhibits. A short distance to the southeast of the main square is another attraction that I would recommend. This is the Museum of the City of Merida. If you are a fan of museums, you will love this city. In El Centro alone, there are over a dozen, and most of them cost nothing to enter. This is one of the displays that costs nothing to see. Here you can trace the city's history from Mayan days up through the present. On the ground floor is the permanent collection. It was interesting, but I was not all that excited about what it featured. That changed on the upper floors. There was incredible artwork on view. This exhibit of paintings was astonishing. Colors were vibrant, the subject matter intriguing, and many of the pieces were large scale. In another area, there were sculptures. They were all thought-provoking. Drawings were alongside, with my guess being to show the concept and then how the final product matched up with that. Yet another spot featured paintings that showed various landmarks from around the city. I found this part of the exhibit to be extremely interesting. It shows places that you can still see around town for the most part, but it shows them as they appeared in the 1970s. Many of the iconic locations depicted in the paintings are places that you are seeing in this video. Merida's biggest market is located near the Museum of the City. This is Mercado Lucas de Galvez. It's still just a 5 or 10 minute walk from Plaza Grande. As you can see, there are all sorts of products available for sale here. I am always attracted to produce, flowers, and prepared food. This market has it all. I even turned one corner to find one of my favorite items, a homegrown musical performance. This mercado is big and busy. Figures that I have seen put the size at 45,000 square meters with as many as 2,000 vendors. Estimates vary, but as many as 25,000 to upwards of 100,000 people visit each day. A market has been at this location since the late 19th century. Late in the 17th century, residents of the city needed protection from outside forces, such as pirates. 3 gates in the city are remnants from the effort to build a fortification. This is the Arco del Puente, or Arch of the Bridge. Just a block away is the Arco de Dragones, or Dragons. There were plans to make this a walled city, but that was never realized. 8 gates were built, and 3 of them survive today. You've seen the cathedral and the Plaza Grande, but they don't stand alone. Merida is a city of churches and parks. This is the Church of Jesus, or Jesus. It is only a block or 2 from the cathedral and is one of the most attractive churches in the city. This was built by the Jesuits in 1618. It sits at the side of Parque de Madre. A block west of Plaza Grande is the Church of the Nuns. This actually took shape late in the 16th century, making it the 2nd oldest church in Yucatan. As the name implies, there was a convent here as well. It's a beautiful space, and I dropped in for just a few moments late one morning. Apparently, there are tunnels and passageways leading to the cathedral and other churches. Farther away from the center is the Iglesia de Santa Lucia. This congregation also dates to the late 16th century. It was originally built to serve the black and mixed race population of the neighborhood. Renovations have taken place over time, and what is seen today is from around 1760. Parque de Santa Lucia is adjacent to the church. It's a very pleasant space with enough attractions to hold your attention for a few moments. Moving a little farther north, this is Parroquia Santa Ana. It's a phenomenal little church that stands just a few blocks from where I stayed for the month. For me, the outside had the appearance that comes to mind when I think of a small colonial church in Mexico. The interior was special, but I only captured a couple of clips as families were in place for baptisms. There are churches similar to this all over the city, almost without exception. They are gorgeous with an interesting history. For example, this is the Temple of Santa Ana. It was built in the 1730s. Whenever the doors are open on a church like this, feel free to go inside. Many believe that this is positioned on an old platform that was originally the base for a Mayan temple. Next door is Parque Santa Ana, a solid neighborhood gathering spot. I walk by or through this area pretty much every day. A little farther west is the Parroquia Santiago Apostol. This is another old church with a stunning facade. It was completed back in 1637. I did not get a chance to go inside here. In front is Parque Santiago, which I'm told can be a fairly lively spot at times. I came here not for the park or the church, but for the market. This is identified as one of the prime spots in Merida to get prepared food in a mercado setting. I could tell that was the case as I moved through. Items were being cooked and plated in a number of stalls. I don't think I hit this at the right time. It is shortly after noon on a Saturday, and this strikes me as a place that was jamming earlier and is now just winding down for the day. I will try to make it back. I found later that the market is open through the morning and into the afternoon. It closes for a while, then begins operating again in the evening. This is Calle 47, an east-west street through an upscale part of the city. It's about 7 blocks north of Plaza Grande. There are numerous cafes, restaurants, and shops along this avenue. This is the street on which my apartment is located. All of Calle 47 is pretty impressive, but this might be the showcase. They just recently redid the streets, added planters. It is beautiful. This is the area in which I spent the majority of my time during my month in Merida. As has been the case in several locations now, this was one of my favorite days and times of each week. Sundays, beginning at 8 a.m. and continuing until just after noon, some of the city streets are car-free. Here, that includes one of the most iconic avenues, Paseo de Montejo. Hundreds of people come out each week to bike, run, walk, or even rollerblade. In Merida, there was a higher percentage of bikers than any other place that I participated in Car Free Day. This is the fourth place that I've been that participates in Car Free Sunday. There is no doubt in my mind that this makes a difference, that people are out here exercising because this exists. I'll make the pitch again. I think every city should plug in to this template. I walked from one end of the car-free zone to the other. My guess is that the total distance is about 2 miles from El Centro into the neighborhoods to the north. Those who don't have a bike can rent one in several locations. One Sunday, musicians offered motivation for everyone to keep moving. One feature that I especially enjoyed was that a lot of local artists established positions on the side of the street to sell their work. Some was exceptional, and at times, the way the sun hit the pieces made it all look magical. This was a remarkable opportunity to experience Paseo de Montejo. The avenue is wide and boasts many old colonial-era structures. Some are still private homes, but others have been repurposed as restaurants, museums, and for other uses. At the northern end of the car-free zone and Paseo de Montejo is this tribute. It's the Monument a la Patria. There is so much symbolism, as there are close to 300 detailed figures carved into the rock. Just about the entire history of Mexico is represented. This was inaugurated in 1956 after taking one sculptor 11 years to create. The piece rises to a height of 14 meters and is one of the most enduring landmarks in Merida. One of those buildings that was transformed into a museum is here. This is the home to the Regional Anthropology Museum. It is another attraction where it's possible to follow the timeline of this area from Mayan stronghold to the present day. Exhibits cover all different aspects of history, including the culture and beliefs of inhabitants over time. As a bonus for visiting the museum, you get to see this structure. It is the Palacio Canton. It was built in the early 1900s. It is as beautiful on the inside as it is on the exterior. This is one of the most popular examples of colonial architecture in the city. It was built by a former Yucatecan governor. Farther to the east from Paseo de Montejo is my favorite green space in the city. This is La Plancha. It is where I began most days with a walk over its lengthy system of paved trails. There were scores of people exercising each morning. In addition to the paths, there are a variety of other amenities. Everything from an outdoor theater to a central lake. This largest park in Merida is new, opened just in 2023. There is a railroad theme here, as this was once the old train yard. Rail cars are positioned around the park, and some even hold businesses which cater to the needs of those who visit. A pretty big piece of the railroad history has been preserved. This is at the southern end of the park and one of the highlights of my daily walk. You can see that there were 6 tracks leading into this station. It has not been operational for almost 30 years, but it is now useful in a different way and full of life. This old station now is home to the Yucatan University of the Arts. What a spectacular spot in which to study. Walking around to the south side of the terminal reveals a nearly intact neo-colonial facade. It is a gorgeous vision of the past, and I was happy to see that it has been preserved. There are so many opportunities to shop in Merida. I visited La Casa de las Artesanías one day. It included this shop that featured many items of traditional clothing from the region. There were other geographically unique, mostly handmade products for sale too. This space has been open for decades in order to promote traditional crafts. I won't even try the pronunciation of this store. It is all about chocolate though, and Mexican and Yucatecan chocolate at that. Bars and many more items are available here. Cacao used to make the products found here come from 3 Mexican states, including a plantation in southern Yucatan. This store is situated in Parque, Santa Lucia. This was one of my favorite coffee shops in Merida. It's Siempre Librosi Cafe, and I stopped in quite a few times while staying in the city. Most of the time, I got a cappuccino or a latte, but not on this particular day. Chocolate is very popular all across Mexico, and here in one of my favorite coffee shops in the city, they have chocolate on the menu. This is Chocolate Abuelita. It is very satisfying. Mexico and parts of Central America are considered the birthplace of cacao production. The word chocolate is thought to have come from an ancient Mayan word. This is Marigo Coffee, which is also located in the city center. It's another cafe that I frequented during my stay. I ordered all different kinds of drinks here, but on this day, it was a latte. Yes, I'm featuring two coffee shops. I couldn't decide on just one. They are both fantastic. I mean, just look at this place. Plus the atmosphere is good, and the Grande mug is huge. Attractive and comfortable space for enjoying a drink can be found either inside or out at this place. I was pleased with the number of spots within the city where craft beer from the region was on tap. One afternoon, I stepped inside Cuerno de Toro, which means horn of the bull. This is a true brew pub, offering several beers that it produces to its customers. They have about a half dozen beers on tap, and they did not have one of my imperial stouts. But what they did have surprised me. They have a triple IPA. It's called La Diabla, and it comes in at 13.1%. At 13.1%, you know this has a lot of flavor. I don't find big production house brewers in Mexico very interesting, but I liked what I found with some of the craft brewers in the Yucatan. That is just a portion of the wonderfulness that is Merida. Every street is loaded with possibilities, and every door could conceal secrets and perhaps even a stunning courtyard. Someone once told me that this was their favorite city in Mexico, and I can certainly see what they meant. This is just my first video from the Yucatan Peninsula. I have plenty more things to show you and talk about over the next several weeks. If you are interested, come back to All Alone and Far From Home to check it out. I will see you next time.